But just know when God has a place for you in the world, it's literally nothing the devil can do to stop.
That's good. That's good.
If someone would have asked me a year ago, 5 years ago, if I would be here today, I'd be like, whatever, it's not gonna happen. I will not be speaking at anybody's church. I will come help set up. You know, I will catch the ladies when they fall, but I'm not, I'm not doing that. But God knew.
Yes.
And I do believe in predestination,
Yes.
which means that God has everything planned out ahead of time. Like absolutely nothing just happens, right? Everything has a purpose. And most people who know me kind of know my testimony, but for the sake of those who don't, 2010, I was living life. I was married, I was happy, I was pregnant, all the things, right? I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And then I get this horrible pain. And I mean, it's a horrible pain. Like, until if you never felt it, you wouldn't understand it. And I go to the hospital and the doctors are like, well, sorry, you had a stillbirth, so the baby won't make it. Okay. But now, my nieces and nephews, they don't know me. But they're like, what? When did this happen? So, we'll talk in the car. Right. But I remember I was hemorrhaging so much. I was bleeding, like I was on my way out. Organs were starting to shut down. And I think I may have lost probably 4 pints of blood that day. And I remember the nurse, she was like, well, we have a doctor that's coming, but they may be here in probably in about 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then not even 5 minutes, a lady walks in, blue jean jacket, she's wearing cowboy boots and scrubs. Never seen this lady a day in my life. She comes in, she's like, hi, I'm doctor, and we're gonna take care of you. So we go in the room. She's like, can I pray with you before? And I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, a nice doctor that wanted to just pray with me before. Don't you all want nice doctors? Right. And they ended up, and I went out under surgery, but it ended up being a fight to keep me alive because I lost so much blood. And I had to have a blood transfusion and all the things. But what struck me a couple of things. Afterwards, a couple of nurses came in the room and they were like, oh, we just want to see a miracle because we all thought you were dead.
Wow.
I remember this nurse saying, I never saw a lady again in my life. She said, I just wanted to see you because we didn't expect you to make it. And so, and sometimes God will use your story as a testimony.
Yes.
Because things that were supposed to be dead,
Yes.
where you thought it was over.
Yes.
Sometimes God will just use you as a banner to say, hey, I'm still real.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's
Talk that talk.
evidence for it. Right. It's evidence for it. And I remember about a year or so later, I saw one of the nurses. We were in the hospital with, I think my sister, she was pregnant with Carter. And the lady, she was like, oh, you look familiar. And she was like, oh yeah, I remember. She said, I remember you. I've been thinking about you since it happened because it just touched my heart. And she was like, well, you know, the doctor wasn't even scheduled that day.
Wow.
She lived way on the other side of town. She was like, something God told me to get up in the hospital.
Wow.
I was like, what? She wasn't even my doctor. She said, he just told me to get up, and I just came to the hospital that day. And we met at almost the same time.
Wow.
And so I say that to say, hey, that's an example of people listening.
Yeah.
If she would have went back to sleep, who knows what would happen, right? So sometimes your yes can be life and death for someone else.
That's good.
So you can't be afraid to move. If God says go, go.
Yeah.
If he says do it, you better do it. Because there's a purpose behind every single thing. And also, the enemy has no power again.
Yes.
He really wanted to kill me that day.
Yes.
He really did. And I laugh about it now because it's like when you think about it, it was like it really did put a hit out on me. You know, if I could line me up, Josh. But they really did. But God prevailed. And God was like, no, not mine. Not my daughter that's in Goshen. That's protected.
Wow.
No, that's not, no, not today. Yeah. And so when I say that, even when there is obvious evidence that you may die, that you may not make it, just know that God has you covered and protected in Goshen. Goshen is where the children of Israel were. It's a part of Egypt. But just know that you're in Goshen. Okay? And so God has you covered. You won't die. You won't die at all. He's going to protect you. But you have to kill those idols. You gotta get rid of it. You have to really start living holy. And start living right. I know sometimes it's like, man, the world looks like they got so much fun. And they do. Sometimes I'm like, man, they having a good time over there. But you always want to be in the will of God.